live and we're live. Hello, everybody. Happy Tuesday, YouTube. Happy Tuesday, Instagram. If you're just happening to catch this on your timeline, I'm sending you love. Maybe stop by and take a listen to me reading this chapter from Days of Darkness by yours truly, illustrated by yours truly. So grateful, so thankful to have this opportunity to share with you all. If you don't know who I am, my name is Angelique. Hey friend, I am the author of Days of Darkness. It's a collection of insights that I got from some of the dark challenges that I went through in my early 20s. And it's also a coloring book. On Sunday, I did a art coloring live. And this is the page that I colored. I also drew this part up here is not on the coloring page. If you have the book, I was at the Rose Garden at USC, and this is the California Science Center that I was sitting and looking at. Thank you, Drummond. He was watching the live and suggested that I draw in something from my environment. Thank you, friend. So yeah, I did that, and also shout out to Kelvin Hagen and his book club. We are going to be um, reading chapter 21 to 30. Yeah, on Thursday. Yes. Uh, and that's going to be 6:30 p.m. Pacific time on Thursdays. If you would like the link, let me know. But today we're going to be going all the way over to chapter 6 because or it's not chapter 6, it's called After the Accident. But we're going to this next chapter here. So this journey is a little bit more. Um, One chapter at a time, whereas with Kelvin's book club, we are doing 10 chapters at a time. So if you want to get into it, then get into the book club. And friend, it is not on Amazon. It is independently published by myself, and I am looking into other ways to make it accessible. There is an ebook edition, but if you would like a physical copy, the next prints are going to be available in May. So you can pre-order on my website, vzspaces.com. The link is in my bio on Instagram here. And if you are typing it in, it is V as in victory, Z as in zebra, spaces as in space. So you can get it there. I have my own personal belief of just doing things with the community, and there's a lot of talk about these big organizations taking up everybody's stuff, but you know, conviction over convenience. So I do this intentionally and with love. I'm not against anything. I'm just really for doing things as a community and not complaining about things that I'm feeding. Okay. So we're going to step into this reading. Um, yeah, we're going to be reading After the Accident. But before we jump into that, I always like to read the uh, author's notes and the dedication, just so people can kind of be aware of the content. And yeah, then we'll jump into the chapter. So here we go. Also, apologies for the people that expect me at 10. I had to charge my phone a little bit so we could be live and not get cut off. But in any case, here we go. Author's note. This is a work of nonfiction. The events and experiences detailed herein have been described from the author's memory to the best of the author's ability. This publication is designed to provide personally experienced information in regard to the subject matter covered. It is sold and shared with the understanding that the author is not engaged in rendering psychological, financial, legal, or other professional services. If specific expert assistance or counseling is needed, the services of a competent professional in that field should be sought. I am a spiritual coach. I am a speaker. I am a youth mental wellness advocate and also an artist. And somebody who has written a book and shared their experience. And I do offer these things as services. So if this is something that you would like support with building a spiritual practice, connecting to your divinity, I can absolutely help you with that. Unlocking your inner creative expression, I can help with that. But if you're looking for some psychological medications or some legal advice, I'm not it. Ask somebody else. Okay. Parental advisory content warning. Topics of suicide and depression, some sexually suggestive situations, and strong language. Dedication. This book is dedicated to all the younger versions of me. She is the giant upon whose shoulders I stand. Without her strength, perseverance, and resilience, I wouldn't be able to stand as tall as I do today. I love you, little me. Also, thank you to the virtual mentors who have poured light into my mind and heart. Your decision to be a light keeper in this world has saved millions of lives, including mine. Absolutely. Thank you for tapping in for a little bit. Have a wonderful meeting. I hope it is prosperous and satisfying. Yeah, and there are other chapters. Oh, by the way, if you're happening to catch this and you're like, after the accident, what accident? What's going on? Chapter 18, what's happening? The other recordings are also on YouTube and on my Instagram feed. So VZ Spaces is the handle for both of those pages. You can go and watch the other chapter reads. Okay. And I think if you go to YouTube, I haven't tried this out. So try it out. Let me know. Um, if you go to YouTube and search Days of Darkness chapter reading, it should come up. That is my intention with the titling and things of that nature to catch that phrase for you all if you're searching for the other chapters. So you should be able to find that. If you don't find that directly, you can look up VZ Spaces and see my face and get into the chapters that way. I'll also remember to put them on a playlist. So this is the coloring page across from this one. I really like this one with the symmetry, but asymmetry of it. It's very nice. I feel like it's very well balanced. In any case, let's get to reading. After the accident. For the majority of my life, I've been very independent. When I left for college, I vowed that I wouldn't go back home, and I meant that with sincerity. It felt like a genuine possibility because I've always made a way. Plus, I didn't want to go back to a place where I felt trapped. During my first summer away from home, I got two jobs just so I could stay in Missouri, the state I was going to school in. I found an apartment on Craigslist. I learned how to pay bills. I learned the best bus routes to get groceries and other necessities. I learned to wake up at 5 a.m. every day so I could walk or jog to work. I learned how to work a shift at one job, then work a shift at another job the same day. That summer, I taught myself how hard I could hustle. So being hit by a cockeyed taxi driver on a gorgeous summer afternoon barely had an effect on me. In fact, I walked the 45 minutes back to my apartment by myself directly after the medics let me out of the ambulance. The only thing I was worried about was calling a local animal clinic. I was scheduled to interview for to tell them that I couldn't make it because of what happened. I was excited for that opportunity. It was for a receptionist role, but it felt like a step in the right direction at the time. They said they would call the next day to reschedule, but no one called me. Summer ended. I moved into the student apartments. I started an internship at the on campus animal clinic. I had to read through piles of files with people asking for financial grace so their pets, their babies, could get chemo or surgery. It was heart wrenching. I had to help prep animals to go through chemo and surgery. It was difficult. I had to sit around waiting for someone to ask for my help. It was boring. I watched a man come in with a German Shepherd that had a broken leg and heard him say, "I found this dog. I don't know what to do with it. I brought it here so maybe you can put it down or something." It was infuriating. I eventually accepted that this wasn't for me. I hadn't felt any joy or enthusiasm being in this place. It was a job place, not a passion place. It was where my future was headed, and I didn't want it. And then this is the coloring page afterwards. And honestly, I feel like this page really represents well the like disorientation of being hit by a vehicle. That's why I put it here. um, yeah, yeah. But yeah, after the accident from Days of Darkness, I was just talking about this experience. Well, not the whole chapter experience, but the being in the animal clinic and having the internship during Spirit Awakenings, Breaking the Chains program. I was asked to share about a fear that I have that could be blocking me. Um, it was a question that was presented to the group from the facilitator. And what came up for me in that moment was the fear of feeling like I wasted my time doing something. Because, and I recognized in that moment that I developed that fear because of the experiences in the beginning of this book. And I articulate that in the book about how I wasted 14 years of my life. I felt like, we kind of unpacked it and, got to a point of it's not wasted time. You feel me? It's just time. Um, and there's lots of jewels and insights and learning and growth there too. So um, it's not wasted time. It, it was just a season, right? And it's very interesting how we can become so focused on an idea or an objective in our like physicalness based on what other people have shared with us or told us that we're good at or given us some sort of suggestion on what life can be like, and we just attach to that and we live our whole beingness from that, and we aren't actually aligning with our inner knowing and calling. It's very interesting because I spent the most part of my adolescence and my younger years, like really preparing to be like preparing and expecting to be a veterinarian. And at the same time, I was very creative and drawn to the arts. And I just always assumed that that was just not an option for me. And it's silly now. It's silly now. However, in that season of my life, I really just shoved that away. That's why this was not on my bingo card of life. Excuse me. Because I had not let any idea or concept of being a creative person into my mind at all, because I wanted to be successful, because I wanted to make sure that I stayed focused and that I would be okay as an adult when I grew up. I really wanted to make sure that I had, and this was like what was planted in me, right? But I took it on. Like I really wanted to make sure that I would have like a job, and like this was my story. This was my path. This was who I am. I love animals and I'm good at math and science. So this is what I should be doing. Even though what I want to do, what is naturally expressing from me is art, is creativity. It's very interesting. Very interesting. That's why I'm grateful that I captured this season of my life in this book. And I continue to encourage people to write down your life experience thus far, or a season of your life where you had certain experiences. Like, write it down and print it out and read it back again, and know that it's here now and that transformation is possible for you. Because you can, I listen, the girl in this book is not who I am anymore. There are definitely traces of my divine essence in here, in her, and there are also behaviors and belief systems that she had that I have cleared out, that have completely transformed my beingness and how I show up in the world. And I love that I was able to capture it and still have the memory, you know. Like, I didn't forget the things that happened in here. I still have them in my memory. However, the energy signature of those memories is very different now. And so being able to capture that in this book, in this writing, in this language, um, it truly is a gift to me. And I would love for you to have that gift for yourself as well. So I encourage you to write out the seasons of your life. Yeah, so I like to keep these relatively quick and in this space and place that's under 30 minutes. So, thank you for watching today. Thank you for being here. If you would like, again, if you would like to pre-order, or, if you like to order the book, you can go to vzspaces.com. I'll put it that way. And if you're watching this before May 2025, The next book printing and distribution will be May 2025. If you're watching this after May 2025, who knows? Check the website. Listen, I'm not gonna go down that rabbit hole, but the internet is infinite. So, yeah, just reach out if you would like a copy. Also, again, reminder Thursday, 6:30 p.m. for this month of March. Kelvin Hagan has been hosting me on his book club to do a reading. We will be there 6:30 p.m. Pacific time this Thursday as well. It is on Zoom. I can send you the link if you would like. Let me know. So yeah, I love this. I love this. Have a beautiful, wonderful, absolutely spectacular, phenomenal day because you deserve it, because you are worthy, because you can create it. And I'm rooting for you in your highest good. I will see you on the next one. Also, Saturday, join us for Healing Conversations on Raymel Bentley's page at 3:30 p.m. Pacific time. It's going to be good stuff. So we'll see you around. Alrighty.